Hi, I'm Linda,
And I'm Rosie.
and welcome to another Freak of the Week. This week, we have author Michael Griffo on with us today. His most recent book is Murder in an Italian Village. And I'll have the link below so that you can see all the different things that Michael has written. So, Michael, tell us your story.
Oh, hello. Well, first of all, thank you for having me at this freaky podcast.
We're so excited.
Exactly. Um, yeah, so I have had many a bad date. And this is all about, well, I guess it's not always about the bad date, it's just about the freaky date. We can't take it too seriously, is sort of the gist of everything, right? Um, but I have had a series of bad dates, and my perspective is dating in the gay world. I haven't had a heterosexual date since 19
Seven?
no 1984.
Hmm,
1984, I
that's the story.
believe. I even remember. This is a really long time ago. So one of the freakiest dates that I had, and this was before any of the apps. This was just somebody that I had met. We went to dinner, and it was fine. But I was in this period of my life where I was trying. I'm gonna let the date unfold. Gonna try not to assume the worst at the very beginning. And there were a couple red flags. He was wasn't looking me in the eye. He was kind of disoriented and, looking around in the restaurant and those typical things. But then he literally started to pick his teeth with a toothpick at the dinner table. And he had some, I can't remember the exact meal, but it wasn't soup. So there was a lot of food that he was sourcing
Oh,
out with the
Ooh.
toothpick.
it's gross.
It's disgusting. It was disgusting.
Was
So
there
I'm
any
sitting
precursor? Did he
there.
say, listen, excuse me, I've got to do something, or it just happened?
No, I didn't say anything
Mm,
because I didn't trust myself enough and I was trying to be nice.
yeah.
And sometime on a date, you don't have to be nice. You call it like it is. It's like, dude, that's disgusting what you're doing. Like the date is now over, it's done. And that was going on in my mind, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. I do remember this. I said, I'm going to give it another shot.
You went out with him again?
No, because I asked him to go out and he said, no, I'm not interested.
Gotta be
I don't
kidding.
even remember the reason why, and again, I wanted to say, you were picking your teeth
You're
at
weird.
the table. Like, I don't even know if the food was taken away. I can't even remember.
Oh,
All I
Oh,
remember was, and the food was flying. Like, things were coming out. There was food there. That probably was the grossest experience, but it did teach me. It did teach me a lesson that you may not want to cause a commotion when you're in a restaurant. You might not want to say, what are you doing? That's really gross. Call it like you would say to a friend, or your parent, like, what is happening? um it is a moment of, okay, it's done. This guy, when you're on a date, you're supposed to put your best foot forward. You're supposed to try to impress somebody. Clearly he didn't want to impress me, or he thought that was normal.
what do you think he might have done if you had said, like, dude, this is just inappropriate?
From what I can remember, you got to remember, this is going back a long time ago. From what I can remember, he probably would have said, I don't think so, and just carried on with his mission. I'd give it a second try because I always have a tendency. Remember Chandler on Friends? He was always looking for a reason to break up with somebody. I don't know if you remember that. I did that for a while. So I remember one guy, I went on a date with him and he wore jeans, and I actually thought that was wrong. So the freak of the week in that instance was me.
By the way, a really great point, Michael, because we frequently talk about how we are the freaks, how
Yeah,
they're not. It's not always someone else. We take full ownership of the fact sometimes we're the freak.
that's right. I am the
The
freak of the week. Yeah, totally. In that instance. But I remember I was adamant about it. Like, I was like, I can't believe he came to dinner and he wore jeans. Like, I was mentally ill for like that period of time. Like, I had to be. There was something wrong with me.
Now, I
I
think
don't
we
know.
all had that period though, where I don't know if you were looking for a reason, but your criteria were so specific and so zoomed in.
I think I was simply afraid of commitment. That's been like a big issue. So I think that was it. And I think a lot of people are like that. And you got to be careful because, like you said, you know, freak of the week, yeah, absolutely. But sometimes you got to look in the mirror because it's right there. It's right there.
And
We've
we
all been
readily
that.
acknowledge
Yeah.
that. Yep, we're aware of that. Yep.
So another freak, and this was the freak. Um, and I hope I don't offend any Harry Potter fans out there, of which I am one. So this, I guess I was in my 40s, and I met this guy, and this was online, and we met, and he showed up wearing, and he was small. Like, he was a little smaller than me. So I guess he was like 5'7", but a thin, very thin. He had those round Harry Potter glasses with the hair like all up. Remember Kramer on Seinfeld? He had like that kind of hair, real bushy up like that, which that's your hair, okay.
With Bart Simpson. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But that's your hair. Um, he wore a white tight shirt with a frill around the collar, the cuff. It was sort of like frilly, and he wore it tucked into these very tight, almost like ladies' mermaid pants, but they were horizontal stripes like the Wicked Witch of the West's socks. But he didn't just choose two colors like black and green, it was multicolored. It was like a rainbow.
A Wayne
Yeah,
Bro zebra.
exactly. And the shoes, I can't remember exactly what the shoes were, but the shoes are also, they had a big buckle on them. And I swear to God, it was a costume. It was like a total costume that he was wearing. And I did ask him, where'd you get your pants? I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was very proud of his outfit. And he wasn't, so the cuffs were a little feminine, right? But he wasn't a feminine guy. He was not. He just wore this outfit, and I remember pieces of the conversation because he was very complimentary. He was very nice. He was like, "Oh, you're so handsome, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you have a boyfriend?" And I said, "Well, sometimes we do things that make people run away." I was trying to,
Make
say,
him run away.
I was trying to say, and like, we deflect people. Um, the get up, it was comical. It was absolutely comical. And again, you're going on a date, you want to look nice. You want to look presentable. And maybe that was his presentable, but I just thought it was absolutely laughable. And I think I just cut that one short because I'm like, there's no way. So I forgot. It's so funny that when you think about the collection of freaks and freaky dates. So there was this one guy who I met online, and
All right. I got how old? How old were you for this one?
this was in my 50s. This
Oh,
was my
okay.
early 50s.
Okay. And how
So
old was he? Was he similar in age?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I'll let you tell the story. I
so
gotta
I
hear this one. Go
thought
ahead.
so I thought that he was 5 years younger. And I don't like 5 years is fine. It's I consider that like my age. So let's call him Max because that's what he called himself. at the beginning. So we're going out. We were outside in a public space. It was summer. Very, very nice. Um, Really, really easy flow, very handsome, beautiful blue eyes. We're talking. He knows people I used to work with. He like had a whole history in my career world. Like he knew a lot of the same people. We're talking theater, we're talking this. And we go, and we're like, we're going to go out again. And we go out again. Again, I kind of outside. I think we were just walking around. We had one of those walking dates. So we're talking, and it's really nice and so much information. And I'm looking at him, and I did notice he had very dark circles under his eyes.
Mm.
So, but he had beautiful blue eyes. And I was like, okay, I guess he's just, that's what he looks like. Because I wasn't sure if he was that much younger than me. So then on the third date, we go out, and this guy comes up to us who knows him and says, "Hey, Mitch, how you doing? Oh, it's been a really long time. So, Mitch, what are you doing now? Mitch, Mitch, Mitch." And I'm looking around saying, "Who's Mitch? I'm here with Max. I don't even know what this person's name is."
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he must have forgot that he told me his name was Max because he's not trying to shut the guy up. He's just answering the questions, going the whole 9 yards. And he leaves, and I said, "So, Mitch,"
Which Max?
I said, "is that your middle name?" I said, "I thought you were Max." And he's like, "Oh, that's the name he puts on his," wait, it gets better, "on the app because he wasn't yet divorced from the husband."
No way.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to get.
No way.
Which was kind of stupid because really nice guy, really great guy, clearly had issues because the husband had moved on. Even though they weren't technically divorced, the husband was with somebody else.
Mm.
So I was like, "So what's your problem? Why are you?" And I never got a real answer. But then
I
he
could see
said,
you.
and this is
I
what,
could see you. Wait, I could easily see you saying, "So what's your problem?"
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What did I say once when I said, "Well, I'm glad I'm not intimately involved with you anymore"? Wait, let me say that again.
Sit.
I had a boyfriend. We broke up, and I said to him, "I'm glad I'm not intimately involved with you anymore." To which he then said, or I said to him, "So where do you want to go for dinner?" And he said, "I don't really want to have dinner anymore." And I didn't think a thing about it. I told Lynn, and she's like, "Who'd want to go out to dinner with you after that?" Had no idea. So going back to Max/Mitch,
Yep.
or Maxwell Mitchell, um, I then he says to me, how many words is it? I guess the 8 words no one ever wants to hear in a relationship. "There's something else I lied to you about."
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh God.
And he was
Buckle up.
5 years older than me and
Older?
not 5 years younger. Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
10-year swing, that's big.
That's big.
Yeah. And I was like, but again, so, at some point, I don't really know what it is, but I went into these dates just, let me see how I feel. I don't want to think too hard. Because when I think so hard, then you're always looking for a reason, or you're grasping on to one weirdness or one freaky thing, and like I'm not letting go of that. So I didn't do that. But the upshot is, I missed a lot of clues.
Michael, that is so funny. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for everybody, thank you for listening. And just remember,
That you too might be
Someone's Freak of the Week.